Peace will fill the world when we finally understand that only from within can it be spread throughout the land. Every single person living peace in what we do, only then will our dream come true. Only then will our dream come true. Only then will our dream come true.
Good morning, friends. I'm Leona Evans, minister at Unity of San Luis Obispo, an inclusive, progressive spiritual community affirming the good in all life. Welcome once again to our Sunday morning live stream. Welcome to those of you who are joining us for the first time. It's a thrill to be doing this, knowing that people throughout the world have an opportunity to tune in and to hear our positive philosophy, our positive way of life, our powerful way of life that affirms the good within all creation and affirms our connection with all creation. Everyone created through the wisdom of the divine creative force, the energy that we call God the Good. Today, we're going to be talking about our spiritual preparation for Easter and see how a very powerful archetype called the crucifixion, resurrection, and ascension can be part of our spiritual experience, whether we believe those things actually happened or not. And so, let's take a deep breath and relax. Just become calm. Become focused and prepare to be transformed. We're transformed anytime we have a recognition with the presence and power and love of God within us. It feels like the whole world has just opened up and we're seeing things in new and wonderful ways. And this is the way that life was meant to be for the most part. A process of discovery, a process of creating deeper and deeper awareness, which enables us to experience the world as an opportunity for growth, for love, for creativity, and for the celebration of life itself. So, relax, become still, become focused, and prepare to be blessed. Let us affirm together, I am now open and receptive to the living Spirit of truth. Once again, I am now open and receptive to the living Spirit of truth. And so it is. Amen.
Good morning. Today we're going to sing Love is Like a Magic Penny. Please sing along with the lyrics on the bottom of the screen. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Hey, love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. Love is like a magic penny. Hold it tight and you won't have any. Lend it, spend it, you'll have so many. They'll roll all over the floor. Oh, love is something if you give it away. Give it away, give it away. Hey, love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. Love is like a magic penny. Hold it tight and you won't have any. Lend it, spend it, you'll have so many. They'll roll all over the floor. Oh, love is something if you give it away. Give it away, give it away. Hey, love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. Have a great morning, everybody.
Thank you so much, Matthew. That was terrific. I love that song. I've been singing it in unity for years and years. It's true. Love is so much more special when we give it away, even if we think we don't have any. Once we encounter a situation where we spontaneously give it, we realize that we had it all along. That's one of the most important things about our spiritual teachings, is that we're not here in unity to have information or truth or light poured into us. Rather, we're like a scroll, and it is unrolled from within us to express in the world. Think about it. We're connected with all life. There are generations and generations and generations of rich history. There is a collective consciousness, in which each of us has a part. And so we share collective memories of overcoming, memories of what is possible for us as human beings, and also memories of what is possible for us when we don't pay attention to who we are and why we are here. There are all kinds of memories resting within the collective consciousness, so we have access to them. We have access to those memories, and any time we fear that we don't have what it takes to do what we need to do, we can use our power of imagination to visualize someone, no matter how many thousands of years ago or no matter how many days or weeks ago. We can visualize someone who's done it. And as we do so, we can be blessed with that same power. If this person can do it, I can too. If this person was able to face their challenges and overcome them, I can too. And so our growth process, in truth, becomes a collective one, where we are able to take a look not only at our own history, but look at humanity's unfolding through the study of history, the study of the Bible, the study of allegories, where we see archetypes. We see heroes, everyday heroes in our lives. Now, we've talked before about the hero's journey that Joseph Campbell made possible. The allegory, the monomyth, as he called it, that depicts the movement of a person from a desire to move forward, to barriers that seem to prevent it, to an ultimate manifestation of those ideals and more, and to watch the process move on again and again and again, because we're always in a process of growing and unfolding. And the fact is, whether we like to hear about this or not, when we're very comfortable, we don't grow very much. Why? It's too comfortable. If we have enough money coming in, why go out and try to get some more? If we are comfortable in our surroundings, why should we go out and spend time doing things we're not crazy about doing? Why don't we just do what we want to do and just be happy? I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the status quo has never really made any of us happy. Why? Because there's growth inside of us. There's life inside of us, God life, the life that is inherent within each person. And we want to know more, and we want to do more, and we want to experience more, because that's how we're made. I mentioned last week that we are the acorn with the oak inside of us. And there is so much more to discover about who we are. And regardless of how many defeats we've experienced and how much pain we've suffered, there is that part of us that always wants to know what's around the corner. How can I experience more? How can I grow into that oak, and how can I feel majestic, and how can I feel mature, and how can I feel that I matter, that I make a difference? How can I love others and express that feeling, that power to them? All of those desires live inside of each one of us. Oh, I can hear you say, well, that might be true in the beginning when we're much younger and we think that we can do things that are really, really difficult. And then we live on, and then we have more disappointments, and we become closed off to life. And we don't want to risk again because we don't want to hurt again. And to that I say, I understand. I understand what you're saying. I don't know of anybody watching this program that wouldn't understand. That's a part of life. That's the part that gives us the most pain and the most self-doubt. But you see, in unity, we stress self-knowledge, self-awareness, an understanding of history, an understanding of psychological archetypes that help us identify with others, other heroes on the path who have achieved things that seemed insurmountable, who have suffered through many, many failures. And in spite of those failures, there was something in them that said, try again, try again. And so we have. We've tried again. And one of the things we try to work with is that tendency inside of us that wants to separate ourselves from any kind of pain, physical, mental, and emotional, especially the kind that we might bring on ourselves by wanting to do something we're not sure we can do. Now, in unity, we understand that the Spirit and the love and the presence and the power and the light and the wisdom of God indwell us all. And that life isn't a linear path where our past experience gives us an opportunity to do better and this one gives us an opportunity to do better. It's not linear. It's not like going up the stairs or going up a ladder. There's ups and downs, a lot of ups and downs. But our teachings help us interpret those downs in a way that gives us more strength, infuses us with an awareness of that strength, and continues to help us know more of the power within us. You see, the point of view of someone who says, I don't want to be part of any more efforts to make the world a better place or make myself a better person. I don't want to be part of that because I've been too hurt. What unity teachings say to that is, I know you've been hurt, but I, the divine I am, the presence of God within us, I am here. I am here to help you understand that there was more to those painful experiences than just hurt. There were valuable lessons, powerful lessons that you can use. And you can probably avoid making those same mistakes again. Who's to say that there aren't new ones that we don't know anything about that we can make? But that's not the point. The point is there's an overcoming spirit within us that invites us, enables us to experience so much more of life and to interpret past failures as not only not accomplishing the task that we sought to do, but as a grade or a semester or a year or a decade of school, powerful school, that gave us greater strength and a greater opportunity to make what we call a success or a manifestation of that which we desire. And as we do that, we realize that we do have what it takes. We've always had what it takes, and we always will have what it takes to experience life to the fullest. What does the crucifixion, resurrection, and ascension have to do with this? We'll find out after we hear some beautiful music by Brett Mitchell and Matthew J. Evans. Oh, and by the way, before we see their wonderful number, I just want to share with you that the meditation music that we use for our time of inner contemplation each week is music that has been composed by Brett Mitchell, every single one of these meditations. The music that he hears is obviously divinely inspired, and we are deeply grateful for all that he shares with us.
Here's a song from Peggy Lee and her guitarist husband, Dave Barber, from 1946. It's a good day. I've kind of slowed it down a little bit, you know. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it's a good day for singing a song, and it's a good day for moving along. Yes, it's a good day. How could anything go wrong? A good day from morning to night. Yes, it's a good day for shining your shoes. It's a good day for losing the blues. Everything to gain and nothing to lose, 'cause it's a good day from morning until night. I said to the sun, good morning, sun, rise and shine today. You know you gotta get going if you're gonna make a showing, and you know you got the right away. 'Cause it's a good day for paying your bills, and it's a good day for curing your ills. So take a deep breath and throw away your pills, 'cause it's a good day from morning to night. So take a deep breath and throw away those pills, 'cause it's a good day. Such a good day Yes, it's a good day from morning to night. It's a good day. Peggy Lee and Dave Barber.
Thank you, Brett Mitchell and Matthew J. Evans. What a great song, written by Peggy Lee. Did you know that Peggy Lee was a Unity student? Well, she was. She always kept the daily word with her, and she believed in the power of affirmations and the power of affirmative prayer. She was an incredible talent and a wonderful composer as well. Well, let's get back to this spiritual preparation for Easter. What does the crucifixion, resurrection, and ascension of Jesus, the Christ, have to do with us today? It was an event that happened more than 2,000 years ago, wasn't it? It was an event that happened to a particular person in a particular time, wasn't it? Well, I don't think so. I think the crucifixion and resurrection is an example of the overcoming power of spirit within each of us. And certainly Jesus and so many others, in fact, everyone we read about, everyone we encounter, every one of our own experiences has contained elements of the crucifixion and the resurrection. Why is that? Well, it's because we're in a process of learning and growing often involves growing pains. So, when we don't understand that, when we don't have an understanding of the archetypes, when we don't read a lot about the great heroes of both fantasy and nonfiction, when we don't see the similarities as part of a hero's journey, we tend to take those stories as isolated events that happen to other people. Wow, wasn't Jesus incredibly brave to have willingly gone through a crucifixion and then to have risen 3 days after? Yes, there's no question about it. Whether we believe it was a historical event or not is not the point. The point is, somewhere, someone overcame the insurmountable. And if we want to focus on the man Jesus, who in Unity is our elder brother, teacher, and way shower, and one of the individuals who fully expressed the Christ presence, the presence of God in his life. Yes, we believe that about the figure of Jesus. We don't know the facts, but we do know that he overcame tremendous obstacles in the name of sharing that we all had the same relationship with God that he had. My Father and your Father, my God and your God. And excuse me for using the masculine gender, but that was the way people spoke at that time and part of their culture. Jesus was talking about a relationship with all of us, and the fact that he had such a powerful relationship with the Lord of his being. It was more important than any adversarial condition that he shared that truth with all who would listen. You have that relationship too. You are the light of the world. Let your light shine. Let your light shine. So, the spiritual preparation for Easter is an archetype, a dialectic, a type of moving forward as we would move from one part to another part to the top part of a triangle. The first part of the triangle represents the desire to experience some form of good in our lives. The second part of the triangle represents all that might be keeping us from experiencing that good. The fact that we want something or we want to experience a certain profession and we're not trained for it. So the second part of the triangle could represent the fact that we're not prepared to accomplish what we want. And so the struggle of being educated, the struggle of going through a process which could include financial struggle, mental and emotional struggles, all kinds of struggles, where at one point we might feel like just giving up because it's too hard. But yet something within us, whether we call it the Christ Spirit, the divine I am, the hero within, that power says, go for it. Go for it. And often we reach the top of the triangle, which, by the way, becomes the beginning of the new triangle because there's never an end to this growth process. And so what makes it very difficult to experience a crucifixion? Well, because we feel like nothing better will ever happen to us, that we'll always be trying for something that we can't achieve. We feel that it's a frustrating effort that won't come to fruition. We can't find the strength within us. We can't understand the power within us. And so sometimes we don't go to the top of the triangle. Sometimes we finish the triangle with a line going down because we feel like we've been defeated. Well, as I mentioned before, there's a completely other way of looking at it. And when we look at it in this other way, then we get to see the framework and experience the framework with a lot more non-resistance. Here it is, the hero's journey. This is the framework. We set out to do something. We find out all kinds of reasons why it won't work, it can't work, it's never worked before, it can't be done, or it can't be done by us. All of those things, to a greater or lesser degree, come up. And so we come to a very important part of our decision-making process. Do we go on? Do we say enough is enough? I'm so tired of trying without succeeding. Do we end up somewhere in the middle, just kind of zoning out and letting life happen because we feel like we're so far away from what we want to accomplish? Or do we talk about the archetype of the hero's journey? Do we read about it? Do we see films about it? Do we remind ourselves of all of the strange and unusual things that can happen when we set out to do something different, to do something that hasn't been done, to do something that's been done in a different way, to just be comfortable with who and where we are? Sometimes just being comfortable is hard if we believe that we're being punished for something we've done before, or if we feel we've done something wrong and don't deserve it. Our teachings say, sure, we make lots of mistakes in life, but we're never punished for them by an entity named God who lives in the heavens. Yes, we experience the laws of cause and effect, and very often we suffer for unwise decisions we inadvertently made because we didn't know better, and that's nobody's fault. Oh, maybe the sixth time in a row that we've done it, maybe then we need to say, hey, you better learn this lesson. But God, the way we understand God's Spirit in unity, is pure and perfect unconditional love, and that love is always there. just because we're embarrassed by things that we do and don't do, just because we feel very often that we've failed because our dreams are far too big for what we've accomplished. That's a perception that the crucifixion resurrection framework seeks to correct through experience. Yes, as I said before, we can go through a miserable time trying to get something done in life. But if we understand that that's part of the process, there are many ways that we can relax into it. Oh, here's the challenge I wasn't expecting. Wow, I wonder how I'm going to get through this one. Is far different than, oh, I wasn't expecting this challenge. I don't know how I'm going to go through it. Maybe God doesn't want me to do it. Maybe I shouldn't be trying. Do you see the profound difference between those two mindsets? The first one says, history has seen this before. The collective consciousness is filled with stories of people who have overcome adversity, surprise adversity, different adversity, peculiar adversity, unthought of adversity. But hey, I'm one of these people, and I will experience this with as much non-resistance as I can, because I know that I will grow from it, I will learn from it, and I will experience a resurrection. I think we can do that a lot of times when a lot isn't at stake. Going to take a course in something. I was talking to my dear friend today about trying to figure out when the two of us were going to finally figure out how to use the software on our computer. We don't want to do it. We're not interested in doing it. We don't have a natural flair for it. It seems too hard. But we're not necessarily okay with continuing to ask our sons to do it for us, because it's a hard position to be in. It's difficult because a part of us knows that we could be learning and understanding it, but I'll do it after I watch this TV show, or I'll do it another time. I'm okay for now, don't worry. But there's a part of us that just wants to be free of saying, can you please I pressed this button and everything went away and I don't know how to get it back, and can you help me? We're getting to the point where we think, well, maybe enough is enough. What can I do about this? So what happens? The next thought comes in and says, I'm not looking forward to that. I'm going to hear terminology I don't understand. I'm going to have to interrupt every 5 minutes. I'm going to run out of patience. I'm going to get frustrated at my wonderful son, who's a wonderful teacher, but I'm so angry that I can't pick it up faster, and I want some magic. I want it to happen now, and I'm kind of frustrated and down on myself. We don't want to go through that. Do we want it to happen? Yes. Do we want someone to wave a magic wand and some process of osmosis just brings it into our consciousness? Hey, yeah, you know anything? Sure, I would like it to be that way. And no, I don't feel like walking into a whole other generation that I wasn't a part of and start believing I can become computer savvy. But the truth is, I can, she can, we can, if we will. And if we walk into a situation that doesn't seem life-shattering and are able to hold our own in terms of being able to observe ourselves, being able to see and feel our impatience well up, being able to self-treat, like taking big, deep breaths and affirming that what we're doing is going to come to fruition, taking a breather, taking a moment, and then coming back to it, knowing that if anybody our age ever figured out how to do that thing, then we can do it too. And call upon some of that wisdom. Remember some of those people that we might know who are computer whizzes and they weren't raised with one, didn't grow up with one. All of that helps us move through, well, a pretty small crucifixion compared to some others. But it's important enough because we haven't welcomed that into our consciousness. It's important enough, and it comes up frequently enough to frustrate us into giving us the motivation to move through that. If we are going to move through a crucifixion experience, if we're going to, because pretty much we have to in order to get to the other side, then wouldn't it be better to do it with an element of non-resistance, knowing that we're part of a divine plan that's been experienced by so many other people, rather than singling ourselves out as being specifically cursed by an unfortunate life circumstance that is the cause of something awful we did in our past. God is a God of love. Spirit is unconditional love, not a person who loves unconditionally, but is the essence of unconditional love itself and would never punish any of the expressions of God in the world, because God is love. Love doesn't punish. Love doesn't have a personality. Love is an essence of pure, benevolent, compassionate, wise power. And so the crucifixion doesn't represent in any way, shape, or form our being withheld from our good by anyone or anything. It represents a process, sometimes an arduous process, sometimes an extremely difficult process, and many times we think, how am I going to get out of this? It's interesting that the last words of Jesus when he was on the cross were all teaching tools. The metaphor, the allegory, the hero's journey of Jesus puts him in one of the most challenging positions a human being could ever face. And yet he knows about the unconditional love of Spirit. He knows himself so well that he is able to look at the people watching him, believing that he's come to his end, and through teaching, through quoting scripture, through reminding them through the Psalms of what was really happening, he taught them that non-resistance is the way to move through a crucifixion and to a resurrection, a culmination of all that he sought for, a realization, an advancement in consciousness, a place where we experience mastery. This is what we're talking about in our spiritual preparation for Easter. We're talking about the opportunity to remember that we have 12 divine powers inherent within us. We talked about them at Christmas time when we had our special 12-power candle lighting service. And we talk about them again because these are the abilities that we need to strengthen and understand within ourselves so we can call them forth during these times of great stress. And of course, we do this every year because it's a continual process, helping us understand that we're always in our right place, learning, growing, experiencing more and more of life. Let's begin our process of meditation by calling forth the 12 divine gifts within us. Take a deep breath now and relax. As we call forth the divine gift of faith and affirm in the quiet of our own being, faith blesses me with thoughts of divine possibilities. We call forth the divine gift of strength and affirm I have the strength to accomplish all that is mine to do. We call forth the divine gift of wisdom and good judgment and affirm, I am guided by divine wisdom in every thought, word, and action. We call forth the divine gift of love, and we affirm, I love and I am loved. We call forth our divine gift of power, and we affirm, I use my power of the Word to create my world. We call forth our divine gift of imagination, and we affirm, I visualize good unfolding in every area of my life. We call forth our divine gift of understanding, and we affirm, my awareness of truth deepens and guides my way. We call forth our divine gift of will as we affirm, I choose my good based on spiritual understanding. We call forth our divine gift of order and affirm my life is balanced and in divine order. All is well. We call forth our divine gift of zeal. We affirm, I enthusiastically accept my good and go forward with zeal and enthusiasm. We call forth our divine gift of release and affirm, I release everything that no longer serves my highest good. We call forth our divine gift of life and affirm, I am filled with energy, animation, and regeneration. And so it is. Amen. Let's take a moment to bless the offering that we would share with Unity of San Luis Obispo. Unity of San Luis Obispo is blessed by your gifts. We're supported by your gifts and tithes. And when you share your good with us, we are able to use those resources to expand our ministerial services. And so we're grateful to you. And we are grateful to be able to share more. There is no question that the divine law of attraction, or the law of giving and receiving, is at work here. As you give, so shall you receive. As you share your good, there will be more good for you to share. So, if you feel that our services inspire you, if you feel that it's a place where you receive your spiritual good, please make that gift and open yourself up to the good that awaits you. Let's speak the words of our prosperity affirmation together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I give and all that I receive. And so it is. Amen.
Here's a song from 1955 by Frank Foster on the saxophonist and the Count Basie Orchestra, called Shiny Stockings. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Kenny Stockton's Count Basie Orchestra.
Thank you so much, Brett Mitchell and Matthew J. Evans. Love that song. So cool. Thank you so much. Let's sing our peace song, shall we?
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyful vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Our prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. Please listen to our podcast called Get Off Your Affirmation. There are wonderful insights and powerful stories on a variety of topics. Have a wonderful week. You deserve it.
Every single person living peace in what we do. Only then will our dream come true. Only then will our dream come true. Only then will